परम गुरुदेव श्रील भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव स्वामी महाराज की जय। Look up the speaker. You speak something about Param Gurudev today?
Yeah. Me neither.
Oh my God.
We are here to hear. Here.
We're all here to hear.
Here.
Dandava Pranam, Radhe Radhe. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir Gopinath Bhavan Shri Vrindavan.
Jai.
Shri Gurudev ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Param Gurudev Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Swami Maharaj ki jai. Dadi Avirbhav Mahamahotsav ki jai. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Guru Kishoras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Saptam Goswami Satchidananda Shri Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Shri Gauri Gopal Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Shri Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Gauri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Hari Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Gaura Premanande
Hari Bol. Do you know?
I don't know yet. But she has to drive. Maybe yes.
Yeah, she's waiting for him to drive before she puts the charger on.
But no.
She wanted to wait till he drives before putting the charger.
You can just put it like it's gonna be around, not on it or something.
Isn't he with a frame?
But that's why you're making a friend.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavashta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritaksha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namine Shri Krishna Nilakane Sudaksham Avadariya Madhurya Gunaishchayuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirasham Namami Dinandinam Bhakta Shiro Marincha Shri Krishna Pada Jagataikahridri Chaitanya Leela Sarasar Narayanam Tam Satatam Prapadye Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Namaham Vishnupadaya Gaurapreshthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragya Keshava Nityanamine Dīvakya Charitraya Svashmitanam Chapanine Jivadute Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati
नामिने श्रीवर्षभारमे देवी गणिकाय कृपाभये कृष्णा सम्बद्ध विज्ञान दैने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमभ्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये विनतारिणे रूपानुगविर्भाव सिद्धान्तभङ्गहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रारम्भ सम्बोधे पदं पूजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौराशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगम्बरायते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौमश्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतोपङ्गोर्मम मन्दं मदे गति मत्सार्वस्वपदाम्बोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमल श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीराधाश्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्टादिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमद्रसरसारम्भि वंशीवता ततस्थितः कार्षण्मेनुस्वनरोऽपि गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्णाभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्तम् नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Gurudev Kripalindu Diya, Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur, page 32 in our Sri Gaudiya Kucha. Gurudeva Kripalindu Diya Guru Vedasa Vrindaveksha कृतार्थ होइबे नाथो। शक्ति बुद्धि आमियाति शक्ति बुद्धि गुरु होए आत्मसाधो। कृपा विद्या गुरुवे दास नपेक्षायति गुरुवे। जोग्यता विचारे किछु नाही पाए तुम्हारो करुणा सारो। करुणा ना हुईले कादियो कादिया करुणा ना हुईले करुणा ना हुईले कादियो कादिया प्राणो ना राखिबो गुरुदेव की जय। परम गुरुदेव श्री भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। प्रभुपाद की जय। रूपानुग गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय। श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय। So, in remembrance of Srila Gurudev's remembrance of his Gurudev, said how he felt himself to be like a third-class bogus person in the land of Jarasandha, and his Gurudev mercifully pulled him out of that place by his hair. So Thakur Vaishnavagana, Kuri E Nivedana Vaishnava Narottam Das Thakur. Thakur Vaishnavagana, Kuri E Nivedana. प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दयापुरम में page 96 by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, with the addition of the prayer to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and Sri Gurudev.
Do you want the little desk?
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद
Vaikuntha कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे भगवान् सद्गुरुपाय च परं
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, हरि बोल। श्री गुरुदेव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। परम गुरुदेव श्री भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की श्री आविर्भाव महोत्सव की श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की सप्तरिका श्री प्रभुपाद की महाभागवत श्री किशोरदास बाबूजी महाराज की सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद श्री भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय, गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय, श्री गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय, श्री श्री राधा प्रभु की जय, श्री राज महाराज की जय, वृंदावन महाराज की जय, श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, गौर भक्त गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्तनारायणेति नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनेति नामिने। नमः विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिप्रज्ञाकेशवभक्तिनामिने अतिमर्त्यचरित्राय स्वश्रुतानां च पालिने जीवदुःखे सदर्ताय श्रीनामप्रेमदायिने। नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति नामिने वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya Lila, Vishnu Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shakti Shri Srimad Shri Bhakti Vedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila, Vishnu Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shakti Shri Srimad Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada. And especially on this day, the anniversary of the appearance of our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of his lotus feet and in the dust of the lotus feet of all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, past, present, and future, including all of you who are physically present today, and all of you who are virtually present, I offer my Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. So today we have collected together on this most auspicious day, the anniversary of the appearance of our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Today, as we all know, it is the best day for our Gurudev because his Gurudev is his heart and soul, as he has told again and again in his own words. So, the opportunity that we receive today to be able to remember and hear about the glories of Gurudev's heart and soul, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, is a great opportunity for us because Srila Gurudev's mercy is flowing especially strong on this day. Who will glorify, who will remember his Gurudev? He will give his mercy. And so we have this special opportunity. I am playing the role of MC today. Must be careful, always. So in advance, please forgive me for any offense or mistake I may make or will make, as I am a conditioned soul and full of the tendency to make mistakes. Hare Krishna. So we will give different devotees the opportunity to speak on Param Gurudev. And I'm requesting, as our Gurudev would request, that the devotees try to remain on topic, that we are speaking about and remembering the glories of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, his teachings, his impact, his greatness, that personality specifically. And also there is a time limit because there will be a Pushpanjali and then Arti, which is a little bit flexible, but it will come a bit later. So normally Arti will be about 12:30, so it may be that we can go past 12 o'clock, and it is 10:13 now. So I will also have the kartals and a timer, so please forgive me in advance for that. When you hear the kartal ring at 10 minutes, that means it's time to start winding down. 11 minutes, wind up. 12 minutes, it keeps going. So we have seen this with our Srila Gurudev, and there are many Vaishnavas here who are expert rememberers of the glories of our Param Gurudev, what our Gurudev has told and what other Vaishnavas have told. So I don't know who to call first, so everyone should let me know who I should call first to speak on the glories of Srila Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj. So sometimes I select Vrindavan Vilasini, and then I find out that Gopi Jana Vallabha Prabhu is senior, and then I don't know, and now I'm... Okay, so the devotees are pointing to Tirthapad Prabhu to please come forward. Now he's pointing to Gopi Jana Vallabha Prabhu, and he's pointing... You can both come forward together if you would like. And just let me know if you would like a chair or...
Well, they did both come at once.
Okay, I only have one mic.
But they can sit together.
Tirtha Prabhu likes to sit. Between the two of you, you get 24 minutes. Plenty of time.
Guruvai Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Acharya Singha Rupine Sisimad Bhakti Pragyan Keswati Namine Om Vishnu Vidaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Sisimat Bhakti Vedanta Smiti Namine Vanchakapatarugyascha Kripasindhubhyo Vicha Tanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Shiptascha Kamaritaranga Madhe Pipamai Tam Sharanam Prapanam Vinde Namaste Charanaravinda. So first I offer my innumerable prostrated obeisances to Maharinam, to Dikshaguru, Nitya Lila Pavashta Om Vishnupad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. The same innumerable prostrated obeisances to my Shikshaguru, Nitya Lila Pavashta Vishnupad. saying innumerable prostate basis. And today on this occasion, my innumerable prostate basis is to Nityalila Pravashta Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Goswami Maharaj. And to all the simple Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, my humble obeisances. So first I'd like to say that in this verse that our Srila Jivarika Maharaj used to always say, actually, he spoke it. And it expresses the humility of all our acharyas and our Gurudevas. Jagai Madai Hoite, Mui Se Papishta, Puri Shir Kita Hoite, Mui Se Lagishta. That to speak something about the glories of Vaishnavas, especially of our Param Gurudev, and Srila Gurudev, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, all these acharyas, what can we say? Jagai Madai Hoite, we say Papishta. What does it mean to be more sinful than Jagai Madai? Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying this in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. Be more humble like that. Why? Because Jagai Madai, they were in the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. It partook in it. So in our Devananda Gaudiya Mat, right there, we see that Jagai Madai, they're actually in the pastimes, this area. So to say something about the different acharyas, one time I was speaking to Srila Gurudev, and I was asking him some questions about the relationship between Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila our Param Guru, Srila Kesha Maharaj. And all of a sudden Gurudev stopped and he says, I'm not on their level. I can't, what can I say? He said that, Gurudev said it, I'm not on their level. I'm not on their level. So here in our Vyasana, we should always have Param Guru a little higher than Gurudev. That was Gurudev's mood. Of course, we see our Gurudev, in the center we see our Gurudev as the highest. All glories to Srila Gurudev, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories. There's no glories left. Always some glories left. So anyway, to speak something about Srila Kesha Maharaj, I mean, one time, Gurudev, I mean, everything is in Gurudev's biography. He knew nothing about Srila Kesha Maharaj, nothing. Now you ask how many people in ISKCON, how many they know about Srila Kesha Maharaj, the glories. None, practically none. So, and here we know something. Why? By the glories of our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj. This glorious biography. Everyone must read it. All the Siddhanta is in there. Everything is packed in there. Gurudev was so happy when he saw this come out, he practically cried. Srila Vama Maharaj is based on what Srila Vama Maharaj said, what Srila Trivakam Maharaj, everything is in there. So some of the things that I have to say, mostly is coming from that. But one thing I wanted to say, that in 1968 in Seattle, when they heard about Srila Param Gurudev's disappearance, our Prabhupada came out and he gave a talk. And when he heard that, he quoted one verse, Vairagi Yog Bhakti Rasam Prayatma, Apayam Anabipsamanta, Kripam Buddhirya Paradukka Dukki. And then he said, Sri Keshava. Tam Ashrayami. And then he said, and the tears started running down his face. He choked. You can hear the tape. He said, for such a Vaishnava like that, for his own self, he was unwilling to take that step. You know? He said, take that step. But he said, this personality pulled me out. Pulled me out. And he could not. He said, so he wrote this prayer, and you can read it in Gurudev's thing. It's supposed to have been put in all of ISKCON's temples, and a picture of Srila Gurudev and Prabhupada standing there with Muni Maharaj, who was almost 90-some years old, in this picture standing there. And he says it should be put in all the ISKCON temples. This connection right here. So our Param Gurudev, without the power, the Shakti from such a personality, you know, how can you preach? He told Prabhupada, he said, if you want to go to the West and preach, you must take sannyas. And he did not want to. And I know something. I know how it feels, because to really be close to somebody like that, then give him up. We can see. What did our Gurudev and Srila Gurudev do? He brought us into this whole line of Siddhanta and Rasik. What does it mean? Ras and Bhav, you know. Nigama kalpataror galitam vilam. Shuka mukama. Amita samidam. Pipita bhagavatam rasam alayam. Bahuraho rasika bhuvi bhavaka. You know. What he put in this book, and also he said that one time Srila Keshav, he was asked by, he came to the one mat, I think it was in Chinchur or something, he said that he was asked to, he went with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, and he asked him to speak. Anyway, he stood up and he started to say that on this day, it was actually Janmashtami. He says there's a difference between Janma and Avirbhav. He said in Janma, there's more sweetness. There's more Madhurya. In Avirbhav, there's a little Aishwarya. So there's more sweetness in Janma. And then he started to explain the difference between Krishna being born in Gokul and Krishna appearing in Mathura. Like that. So he gave this whole talk, and he mentioned that Krishna is Jashodananda, Krishna is Ainanda Danuja Kingram. Like that. And he quoted so many verses, and it pleased Srila Bhakti. It pleased. Remember, he pleased Param Gurudev, was so pleased. I mean, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was so pleased with this. He gave all the books, he gave all of his library turned it over to Param Gurudev. All these books, beautiful books, all in Bengali and Sanskrit. And this is what is coming down through our Gurudev, because our Gurudev also received all these books from Srila Keshav Maharaj. And the whole thing. And what did he did? Krishna Shakti. He got the power of Krishna Shakti and Radha Shakti. So, I mean, what we can say about our Param Guru, from top to the bottom, top humility, top Shakti, gave us all the ras. Who could write a verse like Radha Chintani Sheshena? Who could write this verse like that and show this Vinod Astakam? If you go next door to Imlital, you see Krishna's in blackish, Radha, beautiful. They're so touching, they're so beautiful. And then you come here, and they're so beautiful. It's like that, you know, it's like he brought everything together, the whole Siddhanta. And we're here, we're so fortunate right here to see the whole thing. Over here, Krishna blackish is separation, some separation mood. And here it's, meeting, oh wow. Who could write a verse like this? Radha Chintaniveshena Yasha Kantir Vilopita Sri Krishna Charanam Bande Radha Linkato Vigram. Who could write it? And so many things he pointed out. In our Tulsi Parikrama here too. Who could write such a thing and make such a particular point that he made? You know, the points he made. This verse, this Tulsi prayer, and also in the Jaya Radha Krishna, Jaya Krishna too, there's different things. He made very different points. I mean, it's so much, what can I say? We have the topmost guru. We have the topmost Param Guru. We have the topmost line from Madhvacharya, shown us so much through Madhvacharya. Our line is bona fide, connected. We don't have to go anyplace else. You don't have to, it's all right here. We just have to go deep, deep, deeper. And what will you come out with? Ananda. Ladini Shakti. So anyway, on this day I just want to say I'm feeling so fortunate. You know, I wasn't going to speak anything, but because my voice, I lost my voice. But today I gained my voice back. Something. So I'd like to offer my obeisances to this great, glorious personality that I can't even imagine if I could just seen him one time, been in his presence one time. But we are so fortunate to get that Shakti through Gurudev that nobody in the whole three worlds could imagine that we got. So I feel so fortunate, and I think I'm blessed to be in the company of all the devotees that are in that same line. So I want to offer my Puspanjali here today, just to get one drop of mercy from Srila Kesha Maharaj's mercy. There's so much to say, and what can I say? It's just, everyone just try to read the biography of Srila Kesha Maharaj.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
Radhi.
Thank you, Tirtha Prabhu, for sharing, and also for that inspiration to read the biography. That would make Srila Gurudev so pleased also. Tirtha Prabhu told this katha of how our Srila Prabhupada was upon the departure of our Param Gurudev. And most people don't hear what happened before, but I read it in Jamuna Devi's diary. She said that when the devotees didn't know what had happened, it was already time for hot milk and Krishna book, and they were already finishing, and it was time to clean up. And Srila Prabhupada told them, he came out of his room very grave. And he said, be ready in 20 minutes. And they had no idea what it was. And so they got everything cleaned up and ready, and he came out. And she said for half an hour, he was weeping and just singing the Mangalacharan, the prayers. This was for Param Gurudev. And then he started speaking about him. So what kind of deep attachment did he have to his sannyas Gurudev? Yes, 1968. Roosevelt Way. No, 68. Hare Krishna. It's good. Talk here. Try not to touch the mic though, because this one's recording.
Jnana Timirandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastaja Deshitalane. So I offer my humble obeisances unto my Harinam Diksha Guru, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, to my Shiksha Gurus, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Gaur Govinda Maharaj, Bhakti Program Keshava Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj. On this special day here, appearance day of Bhakti Program Keshava Maharaj, I can remember so many pastimes and stories that I've heard from Srila Gurudev about his Guru Maharaj. So we all have heard many of these stories, but I'll just tell them again because by remembering these pastimes, we gain strength, we gain wisdom, we gain humility by hearing about their activities in dealing with the material world and the materialistic type people. So Gurudev, of course, he loved Keshava Maharaj so much. I remember him telling me so many different pastimes of his Guru Maharaj. Specifically when he instructed me about the Guru Mantra, he had great welling up of tears in his eyes because he loved Keshava Maharaj so much. So we should aspire to develop the same bhakti that he had for Keshava Maharaj by hearing about Keshava Maharaj's glories. Now Gurudev also told me, he said Keshava Maharaj, he was very logical. So, great scholar, lawyer, friend, everything to Gurudev. And Keshava Maharaj left his books to Srila Narayan Maharaj. So Srila Narayan Maharaj told me, he said, when I read Srila Keshava Maharaj's books, I was astonished how he had underlined so many various tattvas and siddhantas that dealt with the spiritual world and dealing with the materialistic people. And he gained great insight into the value of these books that his Guru Maharaj had left him. And then he told me, he said, Keshava Maharaj, he said, he was an amazing personality. He was an extraordinary dancer. He said, I have never seen anyone dance as sweetly as Keshava Maharaj. When kirtan would go and they were playing the madanga and devotees were singing, Keshava Maharaj he had his danda in his hand, and he said, like he was rocking back and forth, dancing very sweetly, and his eyes were turned up like you would imagine a person in bhav. And he looked so beautiful. I've never seen anything like this in my whole life. So that's another example of Keshava. Of course, Keshava Maharaj was born with a golden hue. And he, in his babyhood, they had placed the baby outside, and a bird came, stole the baby, and flew away. So can you imagine the trauma that everyone was experiencing, this beautiful baby? And now he's been taken away. We will never see him again. And they were all weeping and thinking, oh, what to do. And then after some time, the bird came back and he put the baby down again, and everyone became very happy again. So that's another. Huh? What?
A lily pad in a pond.
Lily pad. Okay, like Radharani. Of course, Srila Gurudev then, he told me about how his Guru Maharaj, I believe, had put I'll give you a preliminary. When Bhakti Siddhanta had given instructions to Keshava Maharaj, and Bhakti Siddhanta wanted that Mayavadi should be checked. Because if Mayavadi is prominent in the world and society, then the spreading of bhakti is hampered, because the Mayavadis were having a great grip on the world at that time. So Keshava Maharaj, through his logic, Gurudev said, I am not logical. He said, I am a very simple person. But my Guru Maharaj, he said he was so logical that he wrote so many things and he could defeat any kind of apasiddhanta or Mayavadi tendencies. And that one book he wrote helped to bring more the Indian culture and the world into the process of pure devotion or bhakti. This is another one of his values. So Bhakti Siddhanta, I believe, near the end of his life, of course he's responsible for Srila Prabhupada coming and Srila Keshava Maharaj giving him sannyas. So that's another one of his virtuous activities that he gave us, encouraged Srila Swami Maharaj to come out from his connections with his family life and his children and his wife in order to spread the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which he was destined to do by the order of Bhakti Siddhanta. So at the end of Bhakti Siddhanta's life, Bhakti Siddhanta was there, I believe, in Calcutta, and Gurudev explains that Goswami Maharaj was there, Srila Sridhar Maharaj was there, Keshava Maharaj was there, and many other of the stalwart Vaishnavas at that time in the Gaudiya Math were all there and present. So Bhakti Siddhanta, he said very soberly, Gurudev said his face turned reddish, and he began to speak about how Mahaprabhu had ordered him to spread the teachings of Raganuga Bhakti and the teachings of Mahaprabhu in the higher topics. And then he said, but I am not happy because I could not follow his instructions. So therefore, I want you all to take any Vaishnava or Rasik Vaishnavas Association who's connected with Radha and Krishna and follow their instructions and cooperate amongst yourselves. So then he had a kirtan. They were doing a kirtan. It was just near the end of his life. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj was requested by Bhakti Siddhanta to sing Sri Rupa Manjari. So they sang that song there, and then very shortly after that, Bhakti Siddhanta left this world. And when he left, everybody was astonished, and they were in a complexity, what to do, what should we do? So there's very many different opinions. I think Bhakti-Vilas Tirtha Maharaj, he spoke because he was one of the more elevated people at that time, and he said we should bring the body to the burning ghat and we should set fire to the body. And Keshava Maharaj was there, and this is one of his really powerful moments where he said, no. He said, we will not burn Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's body. He should be brought to Mayapur, where we will put him in samadhi there. And then he stopped, and everybody kind of like gathered their thoughts, and then they said again that no, we should bring him to the ghat and burn the body. And Keshava Maharaj became very staunch and very convicted. He said, no, he said, I will see who is doing this. We will not burn Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's body. We will bring him to Mayapur, to his original mat, where he will be put in samadhi. And he will live there, eternally there, where all the Vaishnavas in the Gaudiya line, or anyone, will be able to get his darshan and gain the mercy of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. So here, Keshava Maharaj then arranged for a train. It was like a full train filled with thousands of people, and every kirtan, and everybody's crying because Bhaktisiddhanta had just left. So they arrived in Mayapur, and Keshava Maharaj himself brought the body there and began to dig the samadhi where Bhaktisiddhanta would be put into eternal rest there in his samadhi. Of course, samadhi means to become one with your eternal nature in the spiritual world. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that Bhakti Pragyan Keshava marked the body. Is it true? He marked the body. He drew the samadhi mantra here on his chest, and he put kumkum on Bhaktisiddhanta, and also sindur, which is expressing the idea that Keshava Bhaktisiddhanta was a manjari. Of course, we know that now, but the idea is that Keshava Maharaj put him in samadhi. So when Keshava Maharaj left his body at the end of his life, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj told us that he also did the same thing. He put kumkum, samadhi mantra, and sindur. Now also, Narayan Maharaj, according to the instructions from Keshava Maharaj, was requested by Srila Prabhupada to do that to himself. He did the same thing, and then put Prabhupada in samadhi, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. So his connection with his Guru Maharaj is a very blessed event for everyone, and I desire to be the foot dust of Keshava Maharaj's feet. And then also I wish to have his darshan. Gurudev told us, he said, when you progress in bhakti, when you're at a certain level of maturity, then all the acharyas, simultaneously, not necessarily one after the next, but they will reveal themselves to you personally, although they're nitya or in the spiritual world. So I'm aspiring also for that. So I tell one more last story about Keshava Maharaj's probably one of Gurudev's most blessed stories that he told us about Guru Nishtha, how important it is, because Guru Nishtha is the backbone of bhakti. And he explained that at the time of Bhaktisiddhanta, he had done some very heavy preaching in the area of the Navadvipam Parikrama, and he was checking all the different types of people there on their different improper attitudes and dealings. And so they were very angry with Bhaktisiddhanta. So, of course, Brajamandala Parikrama is a very cherishable, blissful event, because Mahaprabhu is coming and all the devotees are very happy, very peaceful, and this and that. So in the middle of the parikrama, all of a sudden, from the rooftops, the party was attacked. Can you imagine the emotions that were going on, and all the devotees there. Guru Maharaj is there, and the party's being stoned with stones. So everyone was like panicking. There was what to do. I mean, if you can imagine what it was really like at that time, like when with Gurudev, imagine Gurudev's party being attacked and people throwing stones. How dangerous it was for Bhakti Pragyan Keshav, for Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. They wanted to kill him. So Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj, of course, using his emotion and his intelligence and his natural Guru Nishta, he brought Bhakti Siddhanta to a place where he could be protected from the assault and the attack. And he requested him to change cloth because he was very similar in features. So his fearlessness, he was called Nrsimha Guru. He wasn't afraid of anything. His preaching was fearless. He was fearless in his attempt to protect his Guru Maharaj from the attack, to the point where he was willing to take on all the abuse and the attack to himself by transferring the cloth of Bhakti Siddhanta to himself and taking the danda. What a great risk, what a great service to his Guru Maharaj, fulfilling the protection of his Guru Maharaj. So I wish to have Nishta similar to that of Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Maharaj. So there are so many stories, but I'm probably way over the time limit. So I pray to Keshava Maharaj to give me some Nishta, some resolve to surrender in the similar way that he served his Guru Maharaj, especially on this day. So all glories to Srila Keshava Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Jai Ho.
Thank you very much, Gopijana Vallabha Prabhu, for sharing so many beautiful pastimes of our Param Gurudev. Next, I would like to call on Gurutama Prabhu to please come forward. As you said, 2 words. Gurudev would say this. In honor of Param Gurudev. And also I request that we keep the time limit.
Which is
10 minutes max, 11 minutes, or 10 minutes with a ching, 11 minutes with 2 chings, 12 minutes with like 50 chings. Okay, good.
Yeah. Om Jnanatimanandasya Gyananjana Savakaya Chakshum Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadam Madhyam Dadati Swapadantikam. I want to offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and his bosom friend, Srila Bhaktivedanta Keshava Goswami Maharaj. So, unfortunately for me, I didn't spend a lot of time in the association of the devotees to hear these nice stories that was just expressed and that are going to be expressed because of the company they were able to keep closely around Gurudev, and so they're able to hear so many wonderful things. But even though that might have been my case, still, if one meditates upon the true nature of a sadhu, and one can ascertain his true wealth. Therefore it says, Vidat bhavat vidha bhagavatas tirtha bhuta swayam bhuvo tirtha kurvanti tirtani swanta stena gadavrata. It is described that, this Bhagavata, this incredible person, Tirtha Kurvanti Tirtani, he's a holy place personified. Everybody runs to the Dham to dump off their unwanted habits and running in fear of their karmic chain of reactions, and they want to leave it in the Dham. But it says, Tirtha Kurvanti Tirtani, that verily great personalities like Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, they're holy places personified. How is that? Swanta Stena Gadabrata. This Gadabrata, this is Srimati Radhika, because he's carrying Srimati Radhika. He's carrying Radha Krishna within his heart. So therefore, every step that he takes, every place that he visits, every word that he expresses is creating a holy place. So my personal desire was that I wanted to know, I probably expressed maybe here, that I thought that Srila Narayana Maharaj could teach me how to love the spiritual master, the Guru, after hearing him sing Shri Guru Charan Padma. And after my shenanigans of running around, and to be honest, trying to avoid Srila Narayana Maharaj, not out of because of not having some affinity or love, but the way things were going, I was not trying to associate with them. But when it finally happened in 2000, it came in the form of him expressing his love for Srila Bhakti Pragan Keshava Goswami Maharaj in the form of his diary that he wrote. Srila Keshari it's called, right? Yes. And when I read that book, I was saying, this is incredible. I was saying, this is absolutely stunning. Everything I thought that he could teach me about how to love the Guru, here it was. And so after reading that book, I was like, I think I know Keshari. I think I know him. And now I know why Srila Ryan Raj is so much in love with this person. And I started to feel that, wow, he's giving me a chance. Srila Keshari has given me a chance to see and to accept wholeheartedly that, yes, you were right. This person does know how to love the spiritual master. And it's being unfolded very vividly in this book. It was absolutely incredible. So from that point, I started to feel a little connection with Srila Prabhupada Keshava Goswami Maharaj. And I would have different dreams as if I had some connection. And last year was fortunate for me because this day appeared on my actual birthday. And I'm the person that, I'm a sourpuss, when it comes to like holidays and birthdays. My whole life I was a pessimist. There's no happiness in the world. Birthdays, humbug, and all this, right? And no one remembered it, great, But when I saw that date last year, I said, perfect. This could not be a better birthday present for me. That today I can think of Srila Keshava Maharaj the whole day, right? And have it completely overshadow my existence. And so at the end of the day, no one even knew it was my birthday. And everybody has spent the day glorifying Srila Keshari. Bhakti Pragyan Keshwar Goswami Maharaj. So that was one of the most beautiful days of my life. So the guru, the business of the disciple is to actually represent the guru. Srila Maharaj tells a story that people were complaining that, oh, he's acting like he knows Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He's acting like he knows him. He haven't met him. We're senior. We're his disciples. And so they complained and they went to Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshwar Goswami Maharaj. Said, who is this person? He's acting like he knows. We're the disciples. And then Srila Maharaj emphatically told him that he actually knows. How does he know? He knows through hearing. He knows through full faith in the heart. He knows that this person is tirtha korbanti tirthani swanta stenaka dhabrata. He knows that this person is carrying the true message from Sri Guru, and Sri Guru is painting that picture exactly of what his spiritual master is all about. And through that picture, Srila Maharaj was able to meditate on that picture. And by meditating on that picture, it enhanced his service to his guru. So our business is to become a representative, a true representative of Sri Guru. So when someone sees you, they want to know, how was, and they'll just look and see, oh, he must be like that. He must have been something like that. So there's no question of missing a great personality if one surrenders their life to a great personality. Because the great personalities will always send some representative, always send some manifestation of themselves so that you can always experience them. This is called the Parampara system. Acharya Mambiyaniya Navamanyeta Karichit Namartya Bhuyasuyeta Sarvadeva Mayo Guru. Okay? Don't become envious. Namartya Bhuyasuyeta. Don't become envious. This person is such a great personality. We should rejoice that we're fortunate enough to have an opportunity to experience this transcendental personality. So I know I'm just going to end with a little. As I said, I had different dreams, as if I was connected with Srila Keshwari Maharaj. And it all began, as I said, from reading that book, as I thought it began at that point. But I'm having this dream, and I'm in India somewhere, and I'm along a fence line, borderline, and there's some not military, but it could have been like British kind of police or something. And I'm leaning up against the wall. And the police officers or something came to me and said, where's your identifications? Where's your ID or something? And then one of them says, no, he's with them inside. He's with them. And then all of a sudden I find myself inside the building. And I've been ushered in that building by someone who I don't know who. I didn't look to see his face physically, who it was, but I was ushered in, and there was Srila Keshwari Maharaj. He was cooking at the stove. And he was cooking, and he looks over at me, and he smiled. And it was a younger version of him, but I knew it was him. And he smiled at me, and I paid him my obeisances, and he put his hand on my head. And then I was thinking, later I was thinking, I must have committed some grave offenses to him in the past. But somehow or other, by the mercy of Srila Raya Maharaj, by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, because of their love and their affinity and their attraction and their absorption in the whole rasa of what it means to relate to one another as God brothers, and to relate to one another as associates from that transcendental realm. By their mercy, I was benedicted. So today is a special day. As I say, these are all, you can take it for whatever you want, whatever I said, but today is a very special day, and we can all pray, because the Association of Great Personalities is not limited by time and space. Time and space has no jurisdiction in the attachment that one can have for the lotus feet of the great Acharya Keshari. Hari Hari Bol, Radhe Shyam.
Thank you, Guru Tama Prabhu, for sharing and giving us such a beautiful remembrance of Param Gurudev via those important shlokas, Tirti Kurvanti Tirtani. Next, I would like to call Shashikala Didi to please come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Param Gurudev. She has already requested. She's taking a back-pushing role today. You're giving the encouragement.
You're always prepared.
Umagyanaatimirandasya gyananjaya salakaya Shakshuanmiritam gyena tasmahe Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Visupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarini Namo Visupadaya Radhikaya My humble pranam to all the assembled devotees here, and please bless me. I can say something because I didn't prepare anything. Busy somewhere. We're just reading now that actually Param Gurudev is 2 years younger than our Prabhupada. He appeared in 1898, yes, from a prestigious family. But anyway, what do we know actually about those most wonderful, extraordinary, most transcendental personalities when they descend from Golok Vrindavan, sent by Srimati Radharani here? What can we actually understand from them? How can we actually connect with them? This would be only according to their divine grace. Causeless mercy, because we have no power to hold what they have to give us anyway. And our hearts should become so pure. Like when Srila Govinda Maharaj expressed this, the milk of a lioness, you cannot keep it in any ordinary pot. It has to be a golden pot, and only then it can be kept. In the same way, the mercy of such Mahabhagavat, Nitya Parikar, or Srimati Radharani, Shri Satchidananda Gaurahari. Even if we get, like Mahaprabhu told to Rupa Goswami in Prayag, I give you just one drop of this ocean. In that drop you can flood the entire, you can drown the entire universe. And see Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga of this caliber, they're carrying this drop in their hands, in their heart, and they are searching where to sprinkle some of this drop. But how pure, how some qualified we must become. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was not satisfied when, yes, he only had to cut the jungle. A picture Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada driving in Calcutta and seeing his beautiful boy like a prince, like Narottam Thakur, laying down under a tree, taking rest with a box because he was collecting bhiksham, little pesa. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada completely melted. So he's doing this for me. He has kingdoms, he's like a prince. He has everything, and for me he's doing this. And then as everything evolves, we can see what he did for Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. In Mayapur, he planted all those big trees to remove all those graves from the Muslims. How? Such genius personality. Srila Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, somebody was on the bank of the Ganga, he was going to disappear. He had him shifted to this place, to his mat. Such a great seva. Manoa Vishtam, and whatever Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada sent him to Srila Kishodas Babaji Maharaj when he was doing his bhajan in municipal facilities. Srila Kishodas Babaji Maharaj didn't want to see anyone. He said, the smell of these materialistic people is worse than the stool in this place. So he didn't want to move. Babaji, we will make a house for you, we will make a kutia for you, please. No, I am sick, I cannot move, I'm okay here. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada sent Param Gurudev and other 2-3 devotees, I don't remember, sorry. And first he denied. Gurudev explained this. No, I'm very sick, I cannot open the door. But when Param Gurudev said, no, but I am a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and it is his instruction that we may receive your divine darshan. Immediately, and then he opened. And in that darshan, I don't know what they discussed, but Srila Kishodas Babaji Maharaj blessed our Param Gurudev, putting his hand on his head and saying, go on preaching the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I take all the obstacles away from you. May you be successful. So we can see that whatever came after Param Gurudev, it was successful. The Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti remained with the three pillars very much established. Not only that, our Prabhupada was involved in that. Receiving sannyas and so many things that you already know. I don't need to discuss this, and this Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti. So all the preaching, all the blessings that Param Gurudev received from Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj was transmitted to his disciple, beloved disciple, and now Prabhupada, you can see how successful he became. Yes. So they are one, like, but all the fingers are here, our hands are different, but they are transcendentally united. They are Srimati Radharani, Palyadasi, and they have only one objective, is to spread her Kataksha, Kripa Kataksha over the world. And whoever is able to, by some, I don't know, incredible mercy, we can and receive the mantras from Gurudev, from Prabhupada, but this is Saraswati. From those, they are our weapons against Maya. This is, and they are the jewels by which we will be connected eternally. This aprakrita, sambandha paramartik sambandha will be established through those mantras. So that our lineage is like inconceivable. When I reflect on this fallen soul, I'm thinking, how possible we have received this much in this life? It may have taken millions of lives to even realize something of it. We depend only on their mercy, causeless mercy for most fallen, and I'm sorry I can't say anything anymore. Please, you bless me. I may try to become a real devotee and to be a little assistant somewhere in the service of Sri Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, our most worshipable Param Gurudev, ki jai!
Thank you, Shashikala Didi, for sharing and remembering the pastimes of Param Gurudev. Next, I would like to call Vaikuntha Mala Didi. She is now offering her current time, she will speak afterward, to Dear Krishna Prabhu. Oh, dear Krishna Prabhu, please come forward.
Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namo. Namaste Gurudevaya Shri Rupaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Name Shri Krishna Leela Anugathane Sudaksham Adarjama Dhruti Gunaischa Yuktam Param Varennam Purusham Mahantam नारायण त्वां शिरसा नमामि। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिसे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। बोलो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। बोलो हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। First of all, I pay my innumerable hundred pranams to the lotus feet of my Srila Gurudev Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, by whose mercy we are having so much opportunities to have spiritual association and spiritual enlightenment, and then to all Rupanu Guru Parampara, present all the Vaishnavas and Brahmachari and Sannyasi Gan. We are very happy and again reminded that we are living a spiritual life by these tithis which are coming one after another. Few days back we celebrated Nityananda Triyodashi by glorifying Nityananda. पाखंड दलन एवं भक्ति प्रचारण यही दुई कार्य अवधूत कौरेन भ्रमण। नित्यानंद प्रभु हैज बीन कॉल्ड अवधूत। अवधूत मीन्स द वन हु इज सिंपली बिंदास, केयरलेस, doesn't know when to laugh, when to cry, if he is wearing some clothes or he is not wearing some clothes. He is avadhut, he doesn't know. Right? So our Param Gurudev is also an avadhut. When we came to Mathura Mutt in the very beginning days, then we were hearing about our Param Gurudev that he would not take bath for many weeks. And we were raised in an atmosphere where in India, in every township, there is a temple called Sanatan Dharma Mandir. But we did not know that Vaishnav Dharma is Sanatan Dharma. And the religion of Atma is Vaishnav Dharma. Dasya Dharma. Jeever Swarup hoye Krishnere Nitya Das. So I was very open to Gurudev. So I asked Gurudev that our Param Gurudev would not take bath for many weeks. And we have to take bath in cold water before Mangala Aarati. So Gurudev said, okay, you also don't take bath. Then that Premanand Prabhu said that if he doesn't take bath, he will start smelling. He's already smelling, then he will start smelling more. So then we came to know about Param Gurudev, because by the time we had reached Mutt, Gurudev had grown into a nature where he would always be more affectionate than as he was known that he was very sometimes beating the brahmacharis, but we never saw Gurudev beating anybody. So Gurudev was more and more affectionate to the last generation. We reached to the Mutt. So we heard about Param Gurudev and the glories of Param Gurudev. So recently I was in Udupi and I happened to see one Acharya of Ashtamat. So as I took his darshan, so I asked a question that what is the ultimate goal of Madhva Sampradaya? So he said, our ultimate goal is adhokshaj jnana. Sorry, aparoksh jnana. What is aparoksh jnana? Aparoksh jnana is what that we realize by our anubhuti, by our experience. Right? So, as I started, that we grew in an atmosphere in India where there is every few miles there is a Sanatan Dharma Mandir or Radha Krishna Mandir or Veer Hanuman Mandir or Durga Mandir, but it is they all call it under Sanatan Dharma. But Param Gurudev, he has written in his Mayavad Ki Jeevani that Vaishnav Tattva is a adhokshaj Tattva. He has, you mentioned this word adhokshaj. So till now, we had heard about Ramakrishna Mission because for us they were all under Sanatan Dharma. Then Arya Samaj and then many other sampradayas which are very prominent in India now. So Param Gurudev writes that the knowledge is of the Gyan begins with Pratyaksh Pratyaksh Gyan. So Pratyaksh Gyan means whatever we perceive by our senses, we can visually see it, then it is Pratyaksh. So just like Ramakrishna Mission, our Param Gurudev used to call them Gundas. Why would he call them Gundas? Because they would enforce this Pratyakshvad into Sanatan Dharma. They would say that it's better to play football than reading Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because because in Bengal the soccer or the football was very popular. So the one football player, he would be very in good attire, good looking, and the one who is reading Bhagavad Gita, he is very very bored and slim. So that's how they would give different logics to say that Daridra Narayan, one should worship or one should render service to Daridra Narayan. That's why whenever we go to Ramakrishna Mission Hospital, we have a good service and little charges, right? Because it is their idea. It is their idea. Anyway, I also go to Ramakrishna Mission, no need to. But when we talk about Sanatan Dharma, that thing which has no present, no past, no future, always living in present is called Sanatan. So Param Gurudev outrightly rejected what? Pratyakshvad, and he called these Ramakrishna Mission people as Gundas of Dharma Kshetra, Gundas of in the sphere of consideration of Dharma. So once Bhakti-Dayit Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he had a big festival in Chaitanya Gaudi Math near temple stand, and so many Swamis, Acharyas of Ramakrishna Mission were invited because the location was very close and they were very good friends to each other. So many Swamis from Ramakrishna Mission came, and then Param Gurudev was given chance to speak. As Param Gurudev started speaking, he clearly, started blaspheming these Ramakrishna Mission Swamijis. And Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj said, Maharaj, we have very close relations. But Param Gurudev said, no, they should listen carefully because they have become a Murgi mission instead of Ramakrishna mission, because they can also eat chicken and mutton, whatever, in Ramakrishna mission. So then Bhaktivedanta Madhav Maharaj was listening to Param Gurudev. So one of the Swami of Ramakrishna mission, he wanted to oppose, and he came to Bhaktivedanta Madhav Goswami Maharaj that I want to immediately refute whatever Swamiji is saying. He said, no, if you dare to refute him, whatever he is speaking from Shastras, from Pramana, from Vedas, from Upanishad. You will be defeated, and our friendship will also be broken. Maharaj, please don't speak anything. So they had to calmly sit there and listen whatever our Param Gurudev said. So there is a 5 type of knowledge. We begin with Pratyaksh Gyan. All the materialistic scientists are Pratyakshvadis. If they see, yes, oxygen and hydrogen coming together, they making water, then it is true. Otherwise it is not true. So that is Pratyakshvad, and the example is Ramakrishna mission. And then comes Parokshvad. Paroksh means Paraksha, which is beyond our perception, eyes. But it is there, just like Swargaloka. Right? So, Arya Samaj in India, they are Parokshvadi. They are always doing what? Fire yagyas. Because they praying Agni Devta is there in Swargaloka, and he will bestow them all the material prosperity. So that is Parokshvad. And then above Parokshvad is Aparokshvad, Aparoksh Gyan. This Aparoksh Gyan is referred to by our Guru Parampara, by Gaudiya Vaishnavas, as all the Mayavadis, because they think or they pretend that they have become Brahma. If there are many, then there will be miseries. Because difference of opinion. If in a house there is a wife, there is a husband, there is a father-in-law, there is a mother-in-law, then there are sons, then there will be fight. So this material world will become miserable. So they say, Sarvam Khalovidam Brahma Ekamev Advitiyam. So what are we? We are Brahma. We are that spiritual whole.
We are one.
We are one and spiritual whole. We are not particle.
Yes.
If we say particle, then again the problem begins. So they say we are all Brahma, and then they think that they are Brahma. So Param Gurudev, when he would go among the Mayavadis, he would call them pretenders. Pakhandi. Pakhandi means the one who is hypocrite. Pretender. So these Aparokshvadis, they are Pakhandis or Mayavadi, we call them Mayavadi. And their ultimate destination is what? Sehoy Yamadandi, Yamraj. Yamraj punishes them, they go to Narakloka, or if they are very elevated, sometimes the Mayavadis are also very elevated. Because I have seen in Haridwar some Mayavadis, no matter it is winter or summer or rainy season, right 3:30 in the morning they will take dip in the Ganges. And their body is fully illuminating, very strong, Nastic brahmacharis, but they are Mayavadis. Where will they go? They will go to the maximum Brahmaloka, where the asuras, where the asuras, the demons, they are given gati, the destination,
This is,
they may go there.
Ishwar Sayujya.
Huh?
Ishwar Sayujya.
Ishwar Sayuj. Right. And then, when the Acharya in Udupi, he said that our ultimate goal is aparoksha jnana. So then I said that we are also under Madhva Sampradaya. I am from Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and we have accepted our, your Guru Parampara from Madhvacharya to Narahari Madhava Vanshe, Akshobhya Paramahanse. शिष्य बोले अंगीकार करे
Akshobhyara Shishya Jaya.
अक्षोभ्य शिष्य जय तीर्थ नामे परिचय
Taradase Jnana Sindhu Tare.
तार ज्ञाने तार
Dasye.
दासे ज्ञान सिंधु तरे. So I named the whole Guru Parampara, and he was very happy because it is their Guru Parampara. So he clarified that our aparoksha jnana is savishesh Brahma. Here it is the Mayavadi's aparoksha jnana is nirvishesh Brahma. But Madhva Sampradaya's aparoksha Anubhuti or aparoksha jnana is savishesh Brahma. And then I again started reading Param Gurudev's book, and there Param Gurudev is writing that savishesh Brahma sphere is very, very wide, very vast. It starts from aparoksha jnana, savishesh Brahma, it goes where? Up to aprakrit, Golok Vrindavan.
Haribo.
So I was very happy that what our Guru Parampara, our Gurudev, our Param Gurudev and Bhaktivedanta Swami Goswami, Swami Maharaj, they have given us, it is beyond our perception, but we are always struggling on the bodily level. This is the problem. So, is the time over? Okay, anyway, the time over. So, I wrote down to Acharya in Udupi and said, Maharaj, I'm very happy when you use this word, Savishesh Brahmavad. And he said, I know you are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and we see our future also with you, with Gaudiya Vaishnavas.
Nice.
Because you are preaching all over the world, whereas we are restricted to not to cross the ocean. If we cross the ocean, we cannot the deity, Krishna deity.
Yes.
So anyway, it was very good. So the point is that Pratyaksha Jnana is rejected, Paroksha Jnana is also rejected, Aparoksha Jnana is also rejected by Gaudiya Vaishnavas unless it is Savishesh, Krishna deity, Krishna Murti, or Brahma Upanishads are accepted because everywhere the word Brahma has been used in Upanishads or Vedas, there the Brahma refers to Shabda Brahma, and the Shabda Brahma refers to Nam Brahma, and the Nam Brahma refers to Krishna Prem. So, in any case, Param Gurudev has clarified all these things in Mayavad Ki Jeevani, and he has proved how Vaishnava Siddhant is very much superior to all these material Siddhantas. Gaur Premanand.
You should see his page of notes. He barely touched on the first point.
He should speak more
But I think he needs like 4 or 5 hours at least. And
You should speak more often.
because he heard Gurudev in his native tongue speaking.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, dear Krishna Prabhu.
You need a very understanding.
So, dear Krishna Prabhu mentioned how Param Gurudev is avadut. Avadut means also that he's not aware or doesn't care what others think. And our Param Gurudev was like that. It didn't matter if he would offend someone, he would not stop speaking the truth. And for those Mayavadis who were determined, they were determined to push their point, that it is all one, you and me are one, it is all one, and there's no reason for our conversation because it doesn't matter. He said, oh, we're all one and everything is one. Then Param Gurudev would say, take this burning log and feed it to him. And that person would become afraid. You're one with this? And Param Gurudev would say, look, right there you just proved. Again and again we've heard the same thing. Sometimes give him stool. Sometimes feed him this box of rotting mangoes. So our Param Gurudev was so powerful, cutting all kinds of arguments in defense of the transcendental truth, Shuddha Sanatan Dharma. Next, I would like to call on Vaikuntha Mala Devi to please come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Srila Param Gurudev. Just so you know, Param Gurudev, from our birth, was our hero. We never knew his name, we just knew about him, that one who was willing to risk his life to protect his guru. We used to hear the story, but they never told us his name. We're like, I want to be him.
Vijnantimirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurmalitam Jena Tasmai Shubha Gurave Gaurachandra Radhikaya Didale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tatbhaktaya Namo Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. For my unlimited blessings, the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Nityalila Pravishtaram Vishnupad, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and unto the lotus feet of today, the Avibhav Titi of Srila Bhakti Keshav Goswami Maharaj, I offer millions of obeisances unto him. I was a little overwhelmed as to what to speak about today because Param Gurudev is such a personality and we have that wonderful, wonderful biography and there's just so much to discuss. So I'm just going to focus on a couple of points. I think, my relationship with Param Gurudev came largely due to his articles, hearing his conceptions, because it's the conceptions of Sri Guru that are that's the thing that makes our Bhagavat Guru Parampara. It's a lineage of conceptions. And Param Gurudev was so fiercely loyal to the conceptions of his Gurudev that when any opposition came to those conceptions, just like when Ananta Vasudeva and Sundarananda Vijayananda started a separate idea, all sorts of separate ideas, like the purpose of the meaning of Bhagavatam is Nivashe Shunyavad, or that Vishnu is learning to chant Hare Krishna out loud. Param Gurudev wrote a series of articles, I think 11, I could be wrong, 11 articles. Even after Ananta Vasudeva left this world, Param Gurudev kept on writing 5 articles because the thought that they could damage the line of his Gurudev, who he'd seen his Gurudev work so diligently and so forcefully and powerfully to fulfill the desires of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and spread this movement in India and worldwide. And any opposition to that, and the fact that they could have influence, because at the time of Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, these personalities were highly influential. And Param Gurudev could see that unless he thoroughly defeated their conceptions, they could continue to have influence. So it's so we see it as disciples of Gurudev. We didn't have to wait for Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj's appearance or disappearance days to hear about him. Param Gurudev would talk, our Gurudev would talk about Param Gurudev at every opportunity. Sometimes, I noticed almost every class that we mentioned to him or Radhadasyam. Param Gurudev or Radhadasyam, Param Gurudev. And this loyalty that was burning in our Gurudev's heart showed that he had had actual darshan of Param Gurudev. And the loyalty burning in our Param Gurudev's heart showed he had actual darshan of Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur. So this darshan, he explains very beautifully in one article, in which he cites a shlok from Hari Bhakti Sudadai, Akshanofalam Dvadrisha Darshanam Hi, Tanofalam Dvadrisha, Gatra Sangha, Jivafalam Dvadrisha, Kirtanam Hi, Sudulabha Bhagavatahi Loke, that the success of the eyes is to have darshan of the Vaishnava. The success of the body is to touch the Vaishnava, and the success of the tongue is to sing the glories of the Vaishnava. But he goes into this article so deeply, and he says that what is that darshan? That darshan is when you have served and surrendered to that Vaishnava to such a degree that Vaishnava reveals his Svarup to you. And prior to that, you are just seeing you have a mundane conception of the Vaishnava. Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada explains that why is it that we don't fully surrender to the Vaishnava? What is it that holds us back? It's because we see Shri Guru or the Vaishnava with material vision. We have some mundane vision. Now we might like to say, no, I know my Gurudev's a transcendental personality, but actually, really, are we giving every second of our mind, body, and words in service to him without thought of anything else? This is what Gurudev did, and this is why he got darshan of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami. Really, and this is why when you read that biography, like so many people have mentioned, you can. Who was it? Someone was saying you can tell Gurudev was in love with his Gurudev, with just with every pore of his being, he was in love with his. And the same with Srila Saraswati Thakur. The same with our Param Gurudev with Srila Saraswati Thakur. Every cell of his being was given in service to him, in trying to make him happy, in trying to please him. So it's with this vision, this one-pointedness, that one can act, not one-pointed, a desperate desire to serve and please, full surrender, fully taking shelter, that one has that darshan of the Vaishnava. Prior to this, we will not see the true form of the Vaishnava. And Param Gurudev goes on to explain that it's once we've seen that, once we've actually seen this root of our Gurudev, of the Vaishnava, any previous memory we have of the Vaishnava, we would reflect on our mundane previous conception of him, and we feel disgust. Because that means when we discuss that we had even a tinge of mundane perception of the Vaishnava. And this, so I just made some notes because my mind was all over the place when I was trying to. So this vision comes by the mercy of the Vaishnava himself. The vision to be able to see him is he is pleased with you. He will give you that mercy. He will reveal his Svarup. And otherwise, he said, Param Gurudev says there's no possibility of us. So it's not just going to happen unless he gives the mercy. And he's not going to give the mercy until he sees our own one-pointed endeavor and surrender. Param Gurudev would, even though he served his own Gurudev so much, so fully, so completely, so intimately that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada referred to him as Dui because of the intimacy of that relationship. But still, when looking back on his life of service to him, he doesn't boast, I served my Gurudev so much. I was so dear to my Gurudev. My Gurudev, I had more association with him than anyone. I knew him better than anyone. everyone. Instead, he said, I never saw him. I never served him. He just would present his Mayic form to me, and he would, like Sita, Ravan would thought he touched Sita, but he touched the Mayic form of Sita. He said, so he touched this, he presented this Mayic form, and he let me serve that. And he let me think I was helping him with, caring for him, medicine when he was sick. And then so as you can see, I was so proud. So this is the actual mood of the disciple. And here he's showing the mood of the disciple is that when we serve Sri Guru, the result of proper service should be deep, deep humility. And he would beg his godbrothers for forgiveness, because you all understood Srila Prabhupada so much, and I didn't. I thought I was so proud I didn't understand who he was and who you all were. And so, how am I doing for time? 1 minute. Okay, let's move this along. I was just making notes of people's points today because they were so beautiful. So, basically, Param Gurudev was a lion-like, he was an acharya, and he fought, as we know, Mayavad, he fought people opposing his Gurudev, he fought misconceptions, but he also fought us. He fought our inner tendency for sense gratification, and he wrote in such a way that he pierced our desire, our tendency to enjoy material life, enjoy the relationship with Sri Guru, using when he says, we think, my Gurudev loved me so much. Gurudev would encourage that, and that's one perspective. But Param Gurudev says also that if there's a pride that comes with that, then you're just, you're not really focusing on the love from my Gurudev loves me so much. It's just an expression of the desire for sense gratification. He said that's lurking in the innermost recesses of the heart. So I find that Param Gurudev was for me, he's such a vital personality because he showed the subtleties of bhakti through his articles. And our Gurudev reveals more of them in the biography. The subtleties of bhakti, that if we really want to move forward and really want to move ahead, like he says, many of the disciples of our Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur gave their mind, body, words and wealth in fulfilling his deepest heart's ambitions. And they succeeded, but still they fell down. Because while they were serving, they weren't meditating on really pleasing him. This is in an article he wrote called Uttama Bhakti. They weren't really meditating on pleasing him. They were actually contemplating how much glory they will get from their service. And he said they got the glory, they got the result of their underlying motivation, but they missed out on that actual mercy. So there are so many vital points for us in the articles of Srila Saraswati Thakur, the articles of Srila Bhakti Keshav, if we really want to attain our ultimate goal. So on this day, I beg for the mercy of his lotus feet to always remain under his shelter. Jai Ho. Don't you know people?
Hare. Thank you very much, Bhai Jantamala Didi, for sharing such essential points of the teachings of our Param Gurudev. That, what you just spoke, is very, very powerful and very close to my heart, because I remember reading that and thinking I need to meditate on this every day. Because Srila Param Gurudev, he asked the question, why is it that those who served day and night for years and years and years, who were so close to my Gurudev, after some time they became weak and fell down? He said it was because while they were serving, they didn't take into consideration, is my service pleasing to my Gurudev? It can very easily be pleasing to ourselves, but is he pleased by my service, and does this service give me life? Meaning, does pleasing my Gurudev give me life? And sometimes the idea is, oh, my Gurudev told me to do this, but then he told me to do something else, and I'll choose which one. Oh, but he told me to do that first. I don't want to do that one. We'll do what we want instead of what he wants. And he should be able to move us like a chess piece. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was able to move Param Gurudev like this, and that was his life. There was nothing he would not do for the pleasure of his Gurudev, for the service of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Next, I would like to call Savitri Didi to please come forward. And I don't know how much time we have after this before Pushpanjali and then, or Guru Puja and then Aarti. So.
First of all, offer my obeisance to my Gurudev, teacher, Vishnu Pada, Stota, Sishima, Vaikuntha, Goswamis. In the same way to my Shiksha Gurus, teacher, Vishnu Pada, Stota, Sishima, Vaikuntha, Goswamis. Teacher, Vishnu Pada, Stota, Sishima, Vaikuntha, Goswamis. Teacher, Vishnu Pada, Stota, Sishima, Vaikuntha, Swami Goswamis. Our Param Gurudev's appearance date is today, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas. So, Sri Param Gurudev came at a young age to see the Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Maybe he was like 70 years old because of his auntie,
Saroji.
She was, I think, the first female disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So one time she took, at that time, Param Gurudev to Prabhupada. So immediately there was an internal connection there because Srila Prabhupada was asking Sri Param Gurudev, why did you came so late? Then at that time, Sri Param Gurudev said, it's because you were thinking now about me. You called me now. So the connection was an eternal connection. So when Prabhupada had the idea to establish all kinds of temples and preaching centers here and there all over India, then at that time Sarojini was asking, like, and who do you think will do all this job? You hardly have any people to ring the bell in the temple. Because then he pointed out to Param Gurudev, says, we know we do it. And he did it. He got the power, because the power comes from Guru. So everything was only even a thought of Prabhupada. He knew already, and he was establishing that. Also, like our mantra, I was thinking that we're always chanting our mantras when you have Diksha. Now, where does it come from? Previously, all the people were having only Gopal mantra. But Sri Param Gurudev went to Srila Prabhupada and asked him for this Guru mantra. And Prabhupada was a little bit like hesitating. Then Param Gurudev said, we'll have to go to another Guru to get this. So in this way, this mantras which we have in the Guru mantra, we call the Guru mantra, it came to us. So automatically, everybody who got this mantra from their Gurudev must be indebted to our Param Gurudev. And you cannot say that you didn't get anything. Even from the ISKCON side, they have to be grateful. Even if they don't want to or whatever, they have to be grateful, because by this mantra, they're going to be knowing their own Gurudev, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all associates. The whole mantra, everything starts from Sri Guru. So in this way, Param Gurudev was very, very staunch, and he didn't make any concessions in establishing the truth of our Guru Varga. establishing the truth and the words of our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, because his service was to help him in his service to help all the jivas. So, like this morning I also said, there was one person in the temple who was doing, criticizing everybody in the temple. Then Srila Prabhupada said to Param Gurudev, you pack his bag, throw it out, and him also, out of the temple. We don't need this kind of people. At that time, Param Gurudev left, but he went somewhere in some corner and started chanting and never did it. Then Prabhupada came to know that and asked somebody else to do the job. He says, because we will not be able to do it. And then the next day, he came and he asked Param Gurudev, he says, why didn't you do what I asked you? Then at that time, Param Gurudev said, well, even if he's criticizing so much, still, if you kick him out, for the jivas, they are coming from a long way, so they have only the opportunity to rectify themselves will only happen in the association of pure devotees, even if they are criticizing. So these are, Param Gurudev's thoughts were so high, so beautiful also. For that, you can see also, Srila Prabhupada established deities, black Krishna, white Radharani. Param Gurudev, white Krishna, white Radharani, because there's some tattva behind it. Radha Lingita Vigraham. So, but you can see now how powerful it is, because now people are establishing all over the place, even if the Apasiddhantas or the Mayavadis or whatever, white Krishna, white Radharani. So, without knowing the tattva behind it, still they're attracted to that mode. So something it is a subtle thing. So eventually, whenever, however, they will get it. They will understand this tattva of Siddhanta through many lives, maybe or not. So this is the power of Param Gurudev. This is also the manobhishta of Srila Prabhupada. So whatever he did, like for instance, his mother was dying and she was crying out for him because she was the favorite one of her, amongst all the sons. She was totally, she loved him so much. And so she wanted to see him one more time. So Prabhupada called him and said, your mother is leaving, and go and see him because she is asking for you. Then Param Gurudev never went. So the next time when they met again, then Param Gurudev was asked by Prabhupada, why didn't you go? Then Param Gurudev said, well, I left all these things, my mother, father and all, and I took shelter of your lotus feet. If I go, then my mother, because she is lying in this position, will ask me, I left so much, there are so many things to be done here, the property has to be taken care of and this and that. He says that I will be obliged to do it. Why? Because Param Gurudev's heart is soft. So then he said, then I again will go into this material situation which I don't want. So, Param Gurudev, that's why they sing sometimes bold and soft at the same time. It's because he always was really, the path of bhakti, which he came to give. And whatever our acharyas, his Gurudev, Param Gurudev, all Bhakti, Shikho Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, all wanted to give, he gave, and he will not move from that position. So he's a really wonderful personality, got so much kripa of Gaukishodas Babaji Maharaj, and not only that, but I think from the whole Guru Parampara, because he was so firm established in bhakti, and Like Dear Krishna Prabhu spoke, about the Mayavadi philosophy. If you read Mayavadi Jivana, it is very beautiful. And he will not criticize in that book, but he will give point to point the defects of that personality, that situation, what. It looks like a very difficult book, but factually speaking, it is very easy to read and to understand. So I think Mayavadi Jivana is good if you start reading it. And alongside, of course, Gurudev's glorification. But I think Gurudev had so many things in his heart about his Gurudev to spread, but the books will be how much buildings. Yeah? So I think Gurudev is being here, and that we are connected to him. It is a great blessing. We cannot repay him, but we can follow. Yeah, we can follow our Gurudev because he enlightens the heart of Padam Gurudev, and Padam Gurudev enlightens the heart of Jagat Gurudev Sri Prabhupada, and so on. The whole Guru Parampara. So we have to try to go that way, where that light is coming from. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Savitri Didi, for sharing. When she was mentioning again this Mayavadi Jivani, I was remembering how outrageous Param Gurudev is. That he actually challenged the entire mass of Mayavadis by saying that your idea of attaining Brahmananda, because they're saying everything is illusion, he said your idea of experiencing Brahmananda is simply illusion. Because if you are Brahm, how will you taste something separate? If your tongue is made of sugar, then if I give you sugar to eat, what will you taste? So he said your idea of Brahmananda is simply illusion. I was like, oh my God, Param Gurudev is so bold and powerful. Next I'd like to call Tungavidya Didi to please come forward. Are we ready for Manjulali Didi, please come forward. She would, but she doesn't have control. I understand, because I also have to go. Okay. Just remember to use your partner. But Sunday,
Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Namo Krishna Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shushima Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namo Krishna Padaya Gaura Krishnaya Bhutale Shushima Bhakti Prakyam Keshivaya Nami Vancha Kalpa Karyascha Kripasindu Vyayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So first of all, I open my unlimited obeisances to the lotus feet of my beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya Purushottam Vishnu Prasad Sattva Shishima Srila Bhaktivedanta Maraya Swami Maharaj, and I beg for His mercy. I offer my unlimited obeisances to all my Shiksha Gurus, especially I offer my obeisances to the lotus feet of our Param Gurudev, Nitya Purushottam Vishnu Prasad Sattva Shishima Srila Bhaktivedanta Keshava Swami Maharaj, and begging for His causeless mercy. I offer my obeisances to all our Upanupa Varga, to all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Sri Ramakrishna, begging also for their causeless mercy. And finally, I offer my obeisances to all Vaishnavas present here, and also I beg for your mercy. So today is such an auspicious day, such a we always hear the grandfather is more merciful than the father. So I feel like we are so fortunate to come in this line. We are so fortunate to somehow connect with these personalities. Even though what a conditioned jiva can say about such a great personality is actually there is nothing one cannot. But I just trying to somehow serving as a service. I want to say something. Personally, I think in our spiritual life we have certain personalities that are very prominent. For me, definitely Param Gurudev is one of the most important persons in my life. I remember when I came to Krishna consciousness, I didn't know anything, literally anything. I was very new, and then somehow because I met with another mission, but then one God brother, he spoke about Gurudev, and then there was one devotee there in the temple that he knew that I was kind of very much inclined to Srila Gurudev. So he gave me one book, and I just even though I know that maybe I didn't understand hardly anything because I was really, literally, fully new. But my remembrance of reading this book this was the Param Gurudev's biography, and it was in Spanish, because at that time I didn't know hardly any English at all. And I remember reading this, I could not stop. I felt like because before meeting devotees, I was so lost. I was just very disgusted of life. I could not find any meaning to life. I couldn't find any reason to live anything. But I remember when I was reading this, it's like, how is this possible? I don't even know how much I really understood, but I just remember I felt like, wow, I want to be like this person, you know. I really wish this sounds like so beautiful, you know, so I know from the very beginning of my life, he's been my ideal, and I really hope one day I can come to the ideal he gave to us. His life is so astonishing. Srila Gurudev will say because every Vaishnava has a speciality, and Param Gurudev's speciality, he's showing us what is Guru Nishtha. He shows so strongly in his life what it means to have faith in Sri Guru, what it means to have a full life of dedication to Sri Guru. He was ready to do everything from his Gurudev. Srila Gurudev, one time he was in Mathura, 1993, he was speaking about Param Gurudev. He was saying how Param Gurudev has his most important quality was this Guru Nishtha. Gurudev said, for the service, what means Guru Nishtha? He said, for the service of his Guru, he's ready to do everything. And for the service of his Guru, he's ready to renounce to anything that is needed. This is Guru Nishtha. The person that for the service of Guru, he's ready to do everything. And for the service of Guru, he can give up whatever is needed to give up. Even if his family is whatever is needed to give up. And he showed this in whole life. We can see Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta, and we heard this about them fighting with Mayavad. That was something that Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta wanted so strongly, because this is the most opposite to devotion. We are aspiring for the highest conceptions of Srila Rupa Goswami, but the thing that is the most opposite and the most poisonous to that is the Mayavad. While this Mayavad conception is there, because this is the most opposite to service. And Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta, he fight this so strongly. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's words were so strong. He will, same as Vaikuntha Devi was mentioning, how Param Gurudev, he's so strong in explaining things. This is because he's the son of Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta. Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta also, he will speak, he will never compromise anything. And he will always like to take out this mood of enjoyment of everything. You know? And Param Gurudev was saying, so in his fight of Mayavad, he gave his life for this fighting, and it's so amazing. If you see this song, Radha Vina Vihari Tattva, there he's speaking about the topmost tattva. He's speaking how what actually Mahaprabhu's Swarup is. That thing I heard this from Vaikuntha, how even though when was speaking with Rai Ramananda, and Rai Ramananda was going to speak about this like topmost Prem Vivarka. And then after one point, Mahaprabhu just covered his mouth and said like, this is enough, don't say anymore. But Prabhupada Gurudev told it. He's like, who is that Mahaprabhu? Because that, when they become one, that's Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu didn't want that they reveal his form. He told this is like topmost. But if you see, even in his Radha Vinod Vihari Tattva-ashtakam, his spirit of fighting of Mayavada is there, very strongly. Iti Brahmataka, there one of the verses he say like, even those, and he speaks in a very sarcastic way, say those who are giving up the worship of Krishna. No. And those who, see Krishna Mitunam Brahma, I always love when I need to quote a verse, then my whole memory goes away. But anyhow, so in this verse he's saying, like those who are giving up the worship of Krishna, and instead they are worshipping this Brahman, this Nirvishesh Brahm. Okay, so... Shri Krishna Mitunam Brahma, Tyaktva tu Nirmutam Yata, Upashate Misha Bhigya, Yata tu Savagatina. He's speaking so strong, even though he's speaking here about like the topmost conception, but his fight of Mayavada is also there. See, those who are giving up this worship of Krishna, and instead of this, they are worshipping this impersonal Brahman, they're so-called intelligent. They say Bhigya, they're like thinking that, no, it's just Yata, Yata tu Sagata. It's like same as this verse of Lord Brahma, when you say like, what are those who are just trying to cultivate knowledge? They're just like trying to take out, you have the husks of the rice that are empty, and you're beating them and trying to take rice, but there's no rice there. So, and he's speaking so strong, so this is what's Parang Gurudev. His whole life just to fulfill the heart desire of his Gurudev. He's the ideal of Guru Nishta. We know, like, for example, when this person, when they came and wanted to become, debate with Srila Rupa Goswami, he say, no, Vaishnavas in general, they don't like to enter in debate, but what to speak of debate? He would do court cases. Parang Gurudev was so strong. Why? Because he wanted to protect the conception of his Guru, because he wanted to serve his Guru. For his Guru, anything. Like Shashikala Didi was saying, like taking out all these, like with all these tombs of the Muslims were in one night. Everything. He was at Timartya. What he done also is like beyond of this world, just to serve Shri Guru. Such example of service. And his life is like every like when Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj, he relates this past time when there was this fight and he made this court case because there was those followers of Prabhupada that they give up sannyas and they give up the chanting loudly of Sankirtan. And then he made a court case, and that was Parang Gurudev. Why? Because he said they are deviating from what Prabhupada gave. And this is because also he's so compassionate. He said if they deviate what Prabhupada gave, what will be their life? So he wanted them to come back to what actually Prabhupada gave. So then Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj, he was doing this service of taking all these things from Srila Bhaktivinoda Srila Goswami Maharaj to Parang Gurudev and everything. So when they presented then at the court, but the day when the court was there, then they all came, so many in sannyas dress, and they were doing loud Sankirtan. And then, so then at the end they were defeated, like Parang Gurudev lost this court case. No? And then, so Srila Bhaktivinoda Bharati Maharaj was saying like, oh, so much effort, but we lost the case. And then he said, no, we win the case. And he said like, what do you mean, you know? He said, I didn't want them to deviate from the words of Prabhupada. This is what was moving in everything his whole life. And I really like how so powerful they really want us to become servants. They really want us to not just be like there's this bottle and there's the honey inside and we just lick the outside part. No, they want us to go very deeply, like Vaikuntha Madhavi, she was saying, how he's saying even like in every single thing, like even we should go to the Vaishnava but not with the mood, like I want to enjoy their association. And I was just, yesterday I was seeing one thing about humility, and I really, that's why I feel like that same Prabhupada is like manifests very strongly in Parang Gurudev. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta was saying, what means humility, really? What is his definition of humility? That place where there's absence of mood of enjoyment. That is humility. And we can see this in the life of Parang Gurudev. For his Gurudev, he's ready like Hanuman to burn Lanka. Anything, he will fight anything, but it's not like, oh, I'm just humble and accept it. No. Humility is when, and he was not even only doing this, but just also cutting from everyone else. So I pray to Param Gurudev and to Srila Gurudev to one day I can actually, he gave us that idea. We know that our life and soul is, and the backbone, Gurudev, how many times he told, the backbone of bhakti is Guru Nishta. And we have that personality who show us the idea of what means Guru Nishta. So I pray to Param Gurudev, even though being so far from become a servant, that by his mercy, just even one drop of that real Guru Nishta can come in all our lives. So, Vancha Kalpatarvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanam.
Thank you so much, Manjula Didi, for sharing, especially those things. I remember when I was in Puri, and it was Param Gurudev's, I think it was also his appearance day that time. And Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati Maharaj was speaking at the mutt, our Gurudev's mutt. And he was telling that he was the personal scribe of our Param Gurudev. So this was his seva. At that time, like Gurudev said, I've served so many of the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, also Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati Maharaj. It's not like they were just kept in their own Gurudev's mutt. They were allowed to associate with and serve so many. So Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati Maharaj was the scribe. He was writing everything Param Gurudev was saying, and he was the one responsible for making the court cases and everything. And he was telling about our Param Gurudev, that our Param Gurudev said, without a minimum of 2 or 3 court cases going simultaneously, my mission would not be successful. And then Srila Bharati Maharaj told that once a summons came to him, and Param Gurudev was like, wow, he ripped it up. Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati, this was the translation that came directly there. He said he ripped it up and threw it and urinated on it. He said, that's what I think about their court summons. He had this kind of strong, powerful mood. He was fighting so furiously to defend the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to defend the teachings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And again, this term Guru Nishta keeps coming up, because our Param Gurudev is really considered the embodiment of that mood. And thank God Srila Gurudev gave us Acharya Keshari, because if we want to know how to develop that mood is presented within those pages. Everything that our Param Gurudev did, all of his activities, the mood of his seva, his selflessness. You mentioned, maybe Vaikuntha Maladidi, the seva that you do, and even giving up those things that we think we may be attached to, but might not be favorable, even if they might seem to be. But to reject those things. Our Param Gurudev gave everything for the service of his Gurudev, and showed the perfect example of Guru Nishtha. And so often we talk about Guru Nishtha, but really to see it in the character of these personalities, we can understand that is Guru Nishtha. And as Manjula Didi mentioned, it is symptomized by a deep sense of humility. And that humility can manifest in the form of fierceness, but it is only in service to the object of service, the Savior. So next I would like to call Bakula Didi to please come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Sri Param Gurudev. There's a few more minutes. Pujari Prabhu said that we are slightly flexible, so. Chair, push.
Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. I don't know what was spoken already. Maybe I'm repeating some leelas which have already been spoken, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So I offer my unlimited obeisances on the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Vishtam Vishnu Padastutara Shata Shishimat Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and Shiksha Guru Nityananda Vishtam Vishnu Padastutara Shata Shishimat Bhaktivedanta Bharati Maharaj. The lotus feet of our acharyas, our worshipers, that I offer my unlimited obeisances unto the lotus feet of our Guru Varga, all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis assembled today here on this auspicious day, because these titis are always so powerful, because we hear and we can absorb in these teachings of these personalities. Actually, when we go, sometimes for college preaching or when we go for book distribution, I love so much to tell one incident which happened in the life of our Param Gurudev. Once he was in the train coming from Navadvip going to Agra. So there, our Param Gurudev was sitting with some devotees, and the titi collector came. The titi collector said, "You heard this Lila, maybe? It was already mentioned."
Wasn't
Yes?
mentioned. Tell it.
Oh, sorry. So the titi collector came and said, "So actually, what are you doing here? You're dressing in saffron. What are you doing?" Param Gurudev said, "We are worshippers of Bhagavan Shri Krishna." And the titi collector, immediately his face fell. He said, became a rose, "I don't believe in Bhagavan. I have no faith in him. I don't know who Krishna is. I have no faith." So Param Gurudev, he said immediately, "Who is, can you tell me, your parents are still alive?" "Yes, I have father and mother." "So why do you have so much faith that this is your father?" "Yeah, my mother told me this is my father." "You have faith in the words of your mother?" "Yes." He became agitated. "Why should I not have faith in the words of my mother then, that he is telling me this is your father?" Param Gurudev said, "This is exactly the same what we are also doing. The mother, the Vedas are considered to be the mother. We have full faith that what is told in the Vedas, in other words, what mother is saying, this is true. And so many evidences are given that Bhagavan is Sri Krishna and that he is performing beautiful human-like pastimes on this Mother Earth, and everything is described in the Vedas. We have to have this faith." So in this way, the titi collector became amazed, hearing this simple answer actually, but it went deep into his heart. So our Param Gurudev was, we heard, full of nishta, full of power. He knew that it's important to eradicate Mayavadism because it's a kind of atheism, and we heard Manjulani was speaking. Without this Shuddha Bhakti cannot grow. It has no existence. So he took lots of energy. Mayavaki Jivani, this beautiful small booklet, is describing also how this Mayavadism is a kind of a demon actually. It is entering our heart, it's polluting us, it's not letting in this purity of bhakti. So he gave beautiful examples. There is one beautiful analogy he is giving. There is in the Kumbh Mela, devotees, they go there and visit, the Kumbh Mela and take a bath in the water, in the Ganges. And actually, people who want to earn money, what do? They take a little bit of cloth and put some oil on top of it and sell it as musk. They say, "This is pure musk. Buy it." And they give it quite cheaply. And the people come running and buy it. But Param Gurudev is giving this example saying, what is musk? It comes from the navel of a deer, and it is so rare and so expensive actually that you cannot afford it. It costs lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So he gives this analogy. It is very important to understand this Shuddha Bhakti. Not many are running after it, in other words. In the same way, like Param Gurudev said also, I don't want many stars. I want one, what is it, moon or sun? Even that's moon. Yes, I don't want to have many of these stars.
One moon.
So in other words, I'm not running after quantity, I want quality. So in this way here, we see that his life was given, like we heard, in selfless seva, in this Guru Nishta was unprecedented, present in his heart. When we distribute books, we always ask the devotees who are coming from ISKCON, "Do you know this is Param Gurudev? He gave sannyas to our Prabhupada." Hardly anybody knows him. So on this day we want to propagate his fame, we want to glorify him, and people should know about his power actually, because he has given the sannyas order to our Swami Prabhupada. And in this way, this mission practically started. He infused him also with Shakti and with power to do this, actually what is impossible to do, what Swami Prabhupada has performed, this beautiful service. And in this way we all come, in this way we have the possibility to start our spiritual practice and to understand who we really are. So there was once also another incident when he established the mat in Navadvip. There was a temple room, and Param Gurudev said, I want to have it arranged like this, and there were 3 steps leading towards the temple room. And then Param Gurudev told to one devotee, I want that these 3 steps are colored differently, blue, golden, and purple, or Arun color. Arun is like the color of the rising sun. Yes. So our Gurudev was present. He asked later on, Gurudev, why did you choose these colors? And our Param Gurudev became very grave, saying, blue is the complexion of Krishna's body, golden is the complexion of Srimati Radhika, and this Arun color, this is the dress of a gopi called Vinod, who is very eager to serve the divine couple, and then he was choked and he became very emotional. So our Gurudev then later on was describing Acharya Keshavi. He went into the room of Param Gurudev and asked it a little bit more, asking, did Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada gave actually Siddha Pranalis to devotees? And Param Gurudev made a very beautiful story. He said, some have been qualified. And Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada gave this personal or this spiritual identifications to them, and I was amongst them, Param Gurudev was saying. So here, we hear that he was rasik, very rasik, but he was also very aware about the necessity to make first a platform. Radha Vinod with Tatvastakam, we heard, I have no time to touch it, but Radha Chinta Niveshana, he is absorbed Krishna. And because of this absorption, which is actually very, very high, he chose to change the color of Krishna. And because of this, so many criticized also Param Gurudev. But here again, he was fearless. He didn't mind who is criticizing him. He was fully convinced that what he is doing is supported by Parampara, by his Gurudev. And yes, so this Guru Nishta, I pray also on this day today, it will be always with me. It will increase day by day. So, Srila Param Gurudev ki jai. Ansakaftan Pasaki Basunto Faivata Patitanam Brahman Vaishnav Siddhanam.
Kamalakanta Prabhu. Oh, Vrindavan Vilasini Dini's got her hand up. Please come forward. Thank you. Wait, we need your cushion. After Vrindavan Vilasini, then we will have Guru Puja and then Arti and Prashad. So we will do another session this evening, starting at 4 o'clock with bhajans, and then giving time for devotees who would like to remember Param Gurudev at that time.
Shri Chaitanya Manapista, Stapita Manapita, Swayam Rabakadam, Bhakti Swabhakam, Namo Mahamanaya Krishna Prem, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. First of all, I'd like to offer my humble, most heartfelt puspangeli to Lotus feet of mine. Harinam Diksha Guru, my own, the treasure of my life, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Second of all, to my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and to his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Dikshit Goswami Maharaj, to our entire Guru. I have not been feeling very well today, but I really want to say something. Because you might say, if I don't say something, this is not appropriate. So how could I not want to please Srila Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev by praising Prabhupada's sannyas guru and Gurudev. So Srila Bhakti Pragya and Keshav Goswami Maharaj, there is no one as dear to our Srila Gurudev as Srila Bhakti Pragya and Keshav Goswami Maharaj. He was his heart and soul. And he was also a very, very dear friend to our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Prabhupada would say that he would come to Srila Bhakti Pragya and Keshav Maharaj would come to his house in Allahabad sometimes and stay for a while. So with Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, he would stay and they would have deep conversations. So we can't even imagine what they were talking about. This is while Prabhupada was still a householder. They would have deep, deep conversations. So the bosom friendship between these godbrothers and the bosom friendship that Srila Gurudev had with his own Gurudev is something that we aspire for. Because as Vaikuntha Mala was saying, there was no desire for material enjoyment. It was pure. It was pure godbrothers or Sishya disciple. But even Sishya disciple sometimes is as dear as a godbrother, like this. So Bhakti Pragya and Keshav Maharaj came not just to defeat the Mayavadis and to set a platform following in the footsteps of his Gurudev, but he also came to serve his Gurudev, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, by giving prema, by giving trust and faith in Premanam. That's part of his Pranam mantra. To give faith in Nam, and also to give the highest conceptions coming from the lotus feet of Prem Guru, Srimati Radharani. And one thing I want to say is that this is seen in his giving us of our Mangal Arti song. He's so kind. Every single day, we are singing of the topmost platform, aren't we? Mangal Arti, Mangal Shishi Radha Krishna Jugalat, like this, every single day. And he does it in such a way that we can, that it's okay for us. Because we have to be very careful with this highest platform, at least myself, coming as a conditioned soul, a very, very low-level conditioned soul, filled with all kinds of lust, all kinds of, you might say, previous bad activities, previous samskars that are not at all favorable. So Srila Bhakti Pragya and Keshav Maharaj was so expert and so kind and so compassionate that he gave us this Artik song in such a way that anyone can sing it. Anyone can sing this song, and he must sing it every day, and go deep, deep, deep down into the topmost platform, our ancient object, which is the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, and her prananam, Shri Krishna. And this is how we start the day. This is how our day becomes auspicious. By remembering Radha and Krishna, our topmost goal. And then the rest of the day we can start defeating Mayavadis and doing this and doing that. But at least in the beginning of the day, we've got our aim and object. We've got what is the goal of our life. Our goal is not just to defeat Mayavadis. Our goal is to develop and become a maidservant of Srimati Radharani, which he is, as we heard from Bakula, he was given Siddha Pranali. Well, of course, he is automatically happy. He's a Nitya Siddha Parikar, descending from the spiritual world, from the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. He, as we know, is Vinod Manjari. Gurudev has told us this so many times. It wasn't a secret. And I remember asking Srila Gurudev once, I said, Srila Gurudev, you say that, your Gurudev went back to the spiritual world, something like that. And I said, but how is this, because he's always there. He's always in the spirit. He's Nitya Siddha. And so Gurudev thought, and he said, well, it's kind of like praying by chicha. It's kind of like this. These are things we can't quite understand, how they're always there, but also he's going back, and that Srimati Radharani was very, very happy to have her Manjari back again, like this. So these are inconceivable conceptions, but Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav gave these to us. He gave it to us in a way that we could digest, in a way that would be inspiring for us, and in a way that we could proceed along in the path of bhakti, the way we need to proceed along, like this. So without that auspicious morning, then what will happen? We'll become absorbed in fighting. We don't want to just fight. We want to happily, with our heart and soul, serve, assist our Guru Sakis in their service to Radha and Krishna. And this begins with our Mangalarti.
Jai.
Anyhow, sorry, I just but I couldn't resist talking about Mangalarti.
Perfect. Thank you.
And our auspicious beginning to the day. Jai.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vrindavan Vilasini Didi, for sharing, especially bringing up the Mangal Arti Bhajan. So it's a perfect end to the perfect start of our perfect day in remembrance of Param Gurudev. So just to end here, actually when she was speaking, I remember Pujapad Madhav Maharaj once in New Braj, he asked me, why do we say Nitya Lila Pravishta? Stand up. And so I stood up and I'm like, I really don't know, because all of our Gurudevs are already in Nitya Lila, so why are we saying Nitya Lila Pravishta? And he started laughing. He said, the same thing happened with Gurudev. He said there was an assembly of disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and Gurudev stood up to speak. And Gurudev referred to his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. First, I offer my pranam to my Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu. And they all started laughing. Why are you calling him Nitya Lila? He's still here. And Gurudev said, what? Only your Gurudev is Nitya Lila, not mine? Gurudev was also strong like his Gurudev. He said, you're saying your Gurudev is Nitya Lila, but not mine? Yes, he is always established in that eternal seva. So thank you for helping me to remember that. Also, we've been speaking so much about the ferocity of our Param Gurudev, who is powerful like a lion, Pasanda Gajaika Singha, Acharya Singha Rupine. But we were in Rup Sanatan Gauri Math one day and they were chanting this pranam mantra for our Param Gurudev. And Gurudev was sitting there. He said, it is true that my Gurudev was so powerful like a lion. But much more than that, he is near and dear to Gauranga. So I like Gaura Preshtaya Bhutale. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Gaura Preshtaya Bhutale. Shri Shri Ma Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Iti Namini. And if you hear Gurudev's Harikatha, every time he says the pranam of his Gurudev, he says Gaura Preshtaya. So more than being powerful like a lion, his heart is so soft in devotion to Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Yes?
I suggest it's from that softness, the limelight increases. It's because his heart is melting in that new version of Krishna to his Gurudev. Anything attacking that in any way, disturbing that, that's been light.
So Vaikuntha Didi is iterating, I hope that's the proper word, that from that softness and that deep attachment to the lotus feet of his Gurudev, to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to their teachings and their moods and conceptions, from that deep attachment and mamata comes that very strong defensive mood which manifests in a lion-like way. So Srila Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Tadiya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsava ki jai. So now we will do Guru Puja, and then we will have Arti, and then Prasad, and then again, starting around 4 o'clock, we will do bhajans and continue to remember the glories and pastimes of our Param Gurudev. Jai. Jaya Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jai Guru. Jai Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva,